93.7 Viewpoint. Rhythm 93.7 Viewpoint.
Hello and good morning. Thanks for joining us in another exciting edition of News and Current Affairs program on radio. It is Viewpoint, and Viewpoint is all about interviews, views and news. And of course, so much has been happening in the polity in Nigeria in the last 1 week. In the last 1 week, federal government announced the calendar for the 2015 election, and also federal government recently announced the memorandum, the manner in which the national conference would hold. So many reactions. There is a gale of defection of some senators of the People's Democratic Party in the Senate to the All Progressive Congress APC. So much happening in the polity of Nigeria, and this will form the basis of some of the things we shall be talking about this morning on Viewpoint. And of course, you know, the program is audience participatory. You will be part of the program. We would demand you to be part of the program because the show is all about you, your views, and it's all about interview. And when that time comes, the number you'll be calling us on is 081-1399-9937. That is 081-139-99937, or you could call us on 081-50-99-9937. I'll take the two numbers again: 081-1399-9937, 081-1399-9937, or 081-50-99-9937. And for those that will be sending us SMS, well, short SMS only to 081-7464-2191. And also the discussion is on Facebook at Viewpoint PH. Yes, you can give, or you can join this discussion right here, Viewpoint PH, or follow us on Twitter, News PH, and send in all your comments. So for those that will be sending SMS messages, only to 081-7464-2191. For SMS messages only, 081-7464-2191. Once again, it is Viewpoints, and our guest today is a believer and advocate of centrist politics. He was the governorship candidate of the defunct ACN, and also a key player in the Nigerian politics, and of course the politics in River State. His political philosophy is politics is too important to be left in the hands of politicians alone. Tonye Princewill is our guest this morning. Thank you so much, Tonye Princewill, for joining us.
Thank you, Shego. It's good to be back after such a long time. I'm glad to be here.
Very well, and it's popularly called TP amongst his friends. So, TP, tell us, the last few months, where have you been to?
I've been around, doing a lot of running around. You know, I'm a businessman, and business has been my focus. So I've been doing less politics. But
you say you're a businessman?
Yes, I am.
Interesting. A lot of people feel you're a politician and you make most of your money from politics.
No. If I'm going to be honest, I actually lose money from politics. What I've been doing is using my business to fund my politics. So no, politics is not a money-making venture for me. For me, politics is actually where I spend my money.
Maybe we should start from that point, because a lot of people might find this a little bit interesting, knowing fully well the role you play with Governor Amaechi, how through you brought in a huge number of business. So many people would think you would have made gain from the likes of Silverbird, which came to River State through you, the likes of Cleanotech, which came to River State through you, and other multi-billion naira investment that came to River State. Are you trying to say you never made profits being a middleman between those organizations and River State?
No, absolutely not. Most people don't understand the kind of person I am. I keep saying that I'm not conventional. And the reason I say I'm not conventional is that if I'm bringing business and I'm bringing opportunities to River State, it's not for me a money-making venture. I won't say that I've not made money from River State. I have. But especially for those transactions you call Silverbird, I'm sure you know about Silverbird. Silverbird was a very interesting transaction because River State government was looking for investors to come into the state.
Yeah.
I told Ben Bruce that he needed to come and invest. Ben Bruce said, look, I'll invest, but you know, why not later? Why not outside of Port Harcourt? Why around Abonima Wharf? We said, look, we need investment, we need to create jobs, we need to show people that Port Harcourt is alive and Port Harcourt is working. So the land was given to Silverbird, and all the money came from Silverbird, and Silverbird went to the bank to take a loan. I'm sure you remember at the time what happened. Union Bank and...
Now, the idea in all of it was that you were a middleman between some companies and the River State government. So it is very funny when you say, well, you've been busy on your business making money. A lot of people felt, well, you made so money. And not forgetting the contract which you handled with the River State government, $1 billion contract that was.
I didn't do a $1 billion contract.
Oh, $1 billion.
I've never done a $1 billion. I haven't even done a $500 million contract for River State.
Interesting. Tell us how much the contract was worth.
It was worth about 400 billion, and it was
400 billion. 400 million or
yes,
billion?
Million.
400 million.
Yeah.
But that's a huge lot of money.
Of course.
I know you were crying sometime that it took government years to pay you back the money.
Oh yeah, we did the contract in 2007. We finished it in about 2008, and we didn't get paid finally until 2011. I mean, I didn't complain. You say I was crying. I wasn't crying. I just kept on and got on with my life. But you know, I contested for governor in 2007. You said Action Congress, ACN. It's actually AC.
AC, okay, Action Congress.
And that was my first entry into politics. And so people must ask, where did he make his money from before then? Because obviously everybody knew that I was not in River State working with River State government. So yeah, everybody assumes that my life and my earnings are around River State, but of course that's not the case.
But a lot of people felt, well, perhaps the reason why he felt out was because he fell out with Amaechi was because Amaechi refused to give him contract as Amaechi used to give him contract.
No, that's not the case.
But have you fallen out with Governor Amaechi?
Sorry?
Have you fallen out with Governor Amaechi?
I won't use the word falling out. There's a disagreement, a very fundamental disagreement, but you know, I still consider him a friend. Our communication is not like it used to be, but I'm not going to say that because we disagree on a political issue that everything is lost. No, it's not lost. I just simply refuse to fight Goodluck Jonathan. I'm not going to be part of that.
Now, definitely, we will come back to that, but when you say everything is not lost, we know you. You were one person that was traveling all around, all in the name of River State, luring investors to River State. You were one person who believes River State has so much potential.
But I still believe that River State has so much potential.
For some time now, you've not been involved in all of that. You were also in I think in the financial council, yes, in one of the committees that was advising River State government on finances,
economic advisory
council. You also resigned that appointment, and you're saying you've not fallen out with the governor.
No, I mean it's falling out with the governor. I think the term falling out is subjective. So whatever you mean by it, all I'm saying is that we agree on a fundamental political difference, and that's just the reality of it. And it's unfortunate, but you know, everybody has to stand their ground, and I've taken a position. I'm not fighting Goodluck Jonathan. I did it before. I've seen different, and I know different, and now that I'm much more informed, I'm not particularly interested in getting involved in any fight against Goodluck Jonathan, especially if I think the reason for that fight is not good enough.
Now, let us look at River State. You're a businessman, and we're still talking in the line of your business. Look at River State 4 years ago. River State today. Are you happy with what you saw? River State, when Amaechi was there in the first tenure, which you were very involved in, and River State now in the last, in the second phase of Amaechi government.
No, I mean, I think it's blatantly and clearly obvious that the first tenure was a lot better than the second tenure. You know, we seem to have drifted. Without a shadow of doubt, now politics has taken over. So governance is no longer the priority. You know, Amaechi started very well. I was very happy with the way he started. Yes, there were some issues, but of course there are bound to be issues. There's no doubt about that. But I think the issues we have now could have been avoided, and unfortunately we're not. So I'm very disappointed. But you know, you can't take away. He has achieved a lot. A lot has been done. There's a lot he did in 4 years, and he's still doing a few things. But we are far away from where we should have been.
So where do you think we go from here?
Well, what we try to do is we still try to mend fences. I mean, you know, one of the biggest problems we have as politicians is ego. There's too much pride. It would be nice. People keep on, everybody wants to be right, but people don't understand that which one is more important, being right or being happy. I think being happy is more important than being right.
So are you trying to say Amaechi is trying to be right?
I think it's not just Amaechi. I think a lot of politicians and their egos, they want to be right. Amaechi is definitely one of them. It's not...
so you feel the problem with Governor Amaechi is ego?
I think it's a problem with politicians generally. I think what is happening right now is there is an argument for position. Everybody has taken a position and everybody is arguing that position. And independent of what happens to Rivers people, everybody is sticking by that position. And I think what position they should take as a priority is the position for Rivers people's interest. And if Rivers people's interest is not served by the position you take, it doesn't matter whether you're right. What matters is that we're not happy. And I think that's the key question for me. Are we happy as Rivers people with what's going on? Are we satisfied that our big politicians are being distracted by issues of politics? I think the answer generally is no. Whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right, no matter what side you're on, whether you're in APC or whether you're in PDP, you cannot be happy with the current situation. And we need to think about that and ask ourselves, well, if we're not happy with the situation, then how can we change it? And the only way you can change it is for people to start talking. Instead of people to start abusing each other, for people to start saying, oh, this person is right, is wrong, this person is right, I am right, they are wrong. What we need to ask ourselves is, how can we move the state forward? And that's the key question for me.
Now, it's a little bit funny, the position you are holding, because Governor Amaechi himself has said the fight is the fight for River State. He says the reasons why he is angry is because of the stealing of Suku oil well from River State. It is because of denial of development to River State from the center. It is because of failure of government to recognize the 2 million vote from River State to the center. And you are saying this fight is not about the people, it's not about Rivers people. Rivers people are not happy.
If that's the case, these issues or these cases could have been made in the first tenure. You could have made these cases in the first tenure.
Are you saying Governor Amaechi is not telling us the real reasons for this fight?
Well, let me put it this way. I'm not going to put myself in the mind of the governor, and I'm not here to talk about the governor in any fashion that will be described as negative. That's not the issue for me. For me, the issue is that if that was the case, then why didn't you make that case in 2008, 2009, 2010, and of course when you voted for the president in 2011? Those cases were still valid then. Why are they suddenly an issue now? And I don't want anybody to pull the wool over the eyes of Rivers people. As far as I'm concerned, this fight is not in the interest of Rivers people. If it was in the interest of Rivers people, if Rivers people would be coming out en masse in support of it, and they're not. It is a state that is clearly divided. Some people along the lines of APC who believe that the president should take a walk, and some people on the lines of PDP who believe that the president should stay there and should walk. And then let's not forget, there are many people who are not political office holders, they're not political party card members. They actually believe one thing or the other. And, you know, why are we now running a divided state, especially divided on the lines of who should be president? I mean, to us, who cares who is president? What we want is, we want to see electricity, we want to see water, we want to see housing. But more importantly, Rivers people want to see jobs being created. Now, when you do rallies and you spend millions of naira on rallies, or you spend millions of naira on media, or you spend millions of naira flying around the place trying to make a case for who is right and who is wrong, that is money and that is time that could have been devoted to creating jobs for Rivers people. That is the problem. That's what we should be talking about.
When you say your support is for President Goodluck Jonathan, I find this funny because right here in the studio, I think 2010 or 2009, you were one of those who said Governor Amaechi should not support Goodluck Jonathan.
Absolutely.
And you said you believe more in Atiku Abubakar than Goodluck Jonathan. Why the change now?
Well, you see, you have to ask yourself questions. This is the problem with most Nigerians. When you are faced with choices, you have to make them. You have to take decisions. In 2011, Atiku Abubakar was facing a political party primary against Jonathan. And I said to Nigerians, I believe that Atiku could do a better job. Some people said because he's our brother, we should support him. One of such people was the governor himself. Now, what happened? Is he suddenly no longer our brother? Now, Atiku is not in contest against Jonathan. We're now faced with a President Jonathan who is moving the country forward. You might argue the pace, whether it's moving forward faster or slower, but the fact is that the country is moving forward. There's so many things you can point at that you can say, this man is actually working. Now, I am somebody who had low expectations of Jonathan. So if I tell you that I'm impressed by Jonathan, it shouldn't surprise you. But I'm not only impressed by him, I'm actually amazed by what he has done. There are certain things that Jonathan has done. Now, when you take a minute to think about it, even as a politician, you have to shake your head. Look at the Governors Forum. Obasanjo could not take the Governors Forum away from the governors. Yar'Adua didn't even bother trying. And Jonathan has come, and look at now. Governors Forum is dead. The same party that was controlled by governors is now suspending those governors. That kind of political mastery is something that you don't play with. I underestimated Jonathan in 2011. I am not underestimating Jonathan currently. And it's, to me, very clear that as 2015 approaches, he is in a position to be given an opportunity to continue. Anything short of that would be like impeaching him. To say that he should not come back for a second term would be like impeaching him. What has he done? What is his crime? Is he worse than Obasanjo? Obasanjo that leveled OD. What did Obasanjo do to Rivers State? Let us think about the crisis that we had in this state then. So, is Jonathan worse than Obasanjo? Or let's look at Yaradua. Yaradua that leveled Baramatu. Yaradua that killed men, women, and children in our Niger Delta communities. Is Jonathan worse than him? The answer is no. So what has Jonathan done that we're saying that? And I said to him, I said, you people, I told you don't vote for Jonathan. You voted for him. Now he's there.
You told Governor Amaechi that?
Yes. I said, now he's there. It is God's will. We don't know. When the time came, okay, Atiku, Jonathan, I felt Atiku was better, but God felt better. Nigerians came out en masse and voted for him. They didn't listen to me. They voted for him. So I was humbled by that, and I sat back and accepted. I remember telling Atiku, I said, look, Jonathan has won. Congratulate him. There were mumblings and grumblings. I said, look, he has won. Look at it. It's clear. The people have spoken. Congratulate him. Eventually, Atiku congratulated him. And from then on, I said to Atiku, I said, fight over. Help this man succeed. Let's focus now on moving the country forward. It's not about one person's ambition. It's not about my ambition. It's not about your ambition. It's about the ambition of Nigeria. Let's move forward. And Atiku offered those services to the president. They've had 2, 3, 4 meetings since then. And my position was clear. You cannot tell me that Jonathan, Buhari, Ribadu are lined up for a presidential election and that Jonathan was not the better option. Of course he was. So once the defeat of Atiku in the primaries of 2011 happened and passed, from then on my support was for Jonathan. And that position has not changed. I am not going to fight Jonathan for somebody else to come and emerge who is worse than Jonathan. If you want me to fight Jonathan, let me see why. Give me a reason. Until today, they've not been able to give me a good enough reason. Who am I fighting Jonathan for? I abused Obasanjo, I got Yaradua. I abused Yaradua, I got good luck. Then I now abuse good luck. What do I get? I'm tired. Nigerians keep complaining. Anytime you complain, that's what they say to APC. Tell us the alternative. What is the alternative? Okay, PDP is doing this, PDP is doing that. What is the alternative? If you want to remove Jonathan, who do you want to put in his place? Is it Buhari? So me, I'm looking ahead. And that's why I'm not going to just get up and start shouting left, right, and center. There must be a purpose to your fight. There must be a purpose to your struggle. You must begin with the end in mind. That's one of the habits of successful people. You have to begin with the end in mind.
You know, it's so funny, all of these, and it's quite interesting at the same time, because you see, people like you, the political elites in River State, have all been accused of playing class politics. They use and dump politics. You just said it. Millions are being spent on rallies, and we're organizing rallies there. But in all of this, do you see anything for the masses in all of this?
I don't see anything for the masses in all of this at all. People should be wondering, why is Jonathan so quiet? People speak for him. People speak against him. And, you know, I've taken time to study the terrain. One of the reasons I've been quiet is I've been studying. I've been studying Rivers State. I've been studying the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I've been watching. And the man is quiet. He's keeping quiet. You know, people abuse him, people hold rallies and abuse him and everything, but the man is quiet. And I just want to ask all of us to remember something, and that is that, you know, remember the elders, because one day you too will grow old. As much as I tell the elders, remember the youth, because the young shall grow, I always tell the younger people, I say, remember the elders, because you too, one day you too will grow old. Now, I think that if you are seeing a silent man keeping quiet, you should ask yourself, come, this is my abuse, this is my insults, this is my direct attack. Maybe I should calm it down, because there is always tomorrow.
So you're trying to say it was time Governor Amaechi calm it down?
You see, you keep referring to Governor Amaechi, you keep referring to personalities. It's not about Governor Amaechi. The number of people who are hurling abuses at the president are too numerous to mention. I'm talking about everybody, including Governor Amaechi. Everybody should just calm it down. If you're not comfortable with PDP and you've moved out of PDP, fantastic. You know, I think it's a wrong decision, but if you think it's a right decision, we're all adults. We're all entitled to take a position. Now, having taken that position, what you should be looking at from that position you're in, how are you going to improve the lives of Rivers people? How are you going to improve the lives of Nigerians? It's not by shouting in the newspapers about Soko oil wells, or shouting in the newspapers about Imbu. Those are not the issues. The issues for you have to be in your position. How am I going to improve the lives of Liverpool? Let your actions speak louder than your words. But unfortunately, right now, people's words are speaking louder than their actions, and I think that is unfortunate.
You know, Tonye Princewill, the last time I interviewed you and I asked you for your scorecard about the administration of Governor Rotimi Amaechi, you said you were giving 60% or thereabouts.
No, not thereabouts, 6 over 10, exactly.
6 over 10,
yes.
Yeah, you said 6 over 10. What would you give him now?
4 over 10.
4 over 10?
Yeah, 4
That's
over 10.
poor. Failure.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't use the word failure. It's like, what we're looking at now is it is deteriorating. The performance is deteriorating. And several reasons can be attributed to that. Number one is politics. The primary reason is politics. I was in a meeting before, let us describe it as the fallout with myself and Governor Amaechi, and all of us sitting down around the table, and he went out to make a phone call. And the question that was asked while he was out is, gentlemen, how is this thing affecting governance? And I won't mention names, but office holders said that governance has been seriously dented by the politics that is going on right now. And two serving commissioners were speaking and complaining. And immediately he walked back into the room. They kept quiet. They kept quiet. They couldn't talk again. And I raised it to the governor. I said, look at what is being said. Governance is affected by what's going on. And he said, governance? Which governance is affected? Where? How? And they kept quiet. They couldn't defend it. And everybody around the table too kept quiet. And you see, if you are surrounded or surrounding yourselves with people who cannot give you advice, who cannot tell you to your face where things are going wrong, then obviously you're doomed to continue to make mistakes. And as far as I'm concerned, you cannot, anybody, I challenge anybody to say that the first tenure is worse than the second tenure. So if I've given him 6 over 10 in the first tenure, there's no way I can give him anything above 4 over 10 in the second tenure. We've lost our way. We're moving in a direction that is most unfortunate. In a way, you can say, once you're in this problem, you can't blame him. Once you're in this problem, you're in this problem. And therefore, you will be distracted. But what I'm saying is that we should have avoided this problem. And let me tell you where we could have avoided this problem. We could have avoided this problem when he decided to become chairman of Governors Forum.
I remember you were in the studio and you said it was a distraction, that it was not necessary.
I'm glad, because I advised and I said, this chairman of Governors Forum is a distraction. And I remember the words of the governor at the time. It was quite interesting. He said, look, I am just the chairman of the Governors Forum. He is the president and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria. There is no comparison between the two of us, and I will be loyal to him. But you see, because of 2011 elections, for those of you that studied the 2011 elections, there was suspicion on Amaechi. The president was not 100% confident or convinced that Amaechi was fully with him. If you remember the predictions at the time, people were saying that Atiku was going to win Rivers State. So because of that suspicion, once he took that position as chairman of Governors Forum, they were still suspicious of Amaechi, but honestly, Amaechi had no negative intentions against the president. These are two people who had a very good relationship. Many people may not know, but they had a very good relationship. In fact, Amaechi was one of the president's favorite governors. But the suspicion was there, and the seed of doubt had been sowed. So once you took that position of chairman of Governors Forum, then Amaechi is a team player. And as a team player, he will always go for his team. And his team were the governors. He was their chairman, and he had to defend their corner. And that, of course, because of the system of government we have been practicing, meant that they came into conflict with the president. And that was the beginning of the problem. The doubt was there, the suspicion was there, and Amaechi, maybe innocently, fought their corner. But as he was fighting their corner, he was distancing himself from the president. And, you know, why I say it was a mistake is, are you chairman of Governors Forum, or are you chairman of Rivers State? Are you the CEO of Rivers State? And the answer is the latter. You are the CEO of Rivers State. So what we have now is a distraction, and that distraction has mushroomed into this feud that we now see today. Unfortunate. Who do you blame? I don't know. I don't think it's about pointing the finger or blaming anybody, but this is the situation we're in, and what we have to ask ourselves is, how can we dig ourselves out of this situation?
You're listening to Viewpoints, and thanks for staying with us. If you're just tuning in, I've been talking to Tonye Princewill. Is a key player in the politics in River State and in Nigeria, and he's one man who knows so much about politics in River State now. And he has said in the first tenure, he would score Governor Amaechi 6 over 10, and this time around, 4 over 10. And he said so far, River State has not made the necessary progress. What do you think? Call us up, 081 139 99937. 081 139 99937, 081 5099 9937. So let's hear all your views. Would you support Prince Tonye Princewill? Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. All right, we'll take another call from the other side here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoints.
Yeah, is that the Silverbird?
Yes, Silverbird, Viewpoints.
Yeah, this is Augustine.
Augustine, thank you.
Calling from Elebron.
Thank you, Augustine.
Yeah, the problem we got in River State now, we don't like it. We don't like it. We don't like it. But the problem is that the governor himself, when he was denied his right by that governor's forum, I mean, when a father does that, you as a son, you're supposed to take courage somehow, not to fight openly. They fight openly because he has denied his right. How if they can go together and sit together and reason things together, he will come back to the city. And he delivered the president for the 2015. No matter what happens. Even if the president offends us or do anything bad against us, France is for Nigeria. We still deliver him because the leadership of the Northerners past this, we did not achieve anything better than what we are achieving now as a Nigeria man being in the state. So apart from anything, the Nigeria development is going on the state because he's the president, but that is why you see most of the projects going on Nigeria and they finish their project.
Now, Augustine, thank you so much. We love your contribution, but do you have any question you would want to ask Tonye Princewill to clarify? All right, well, thank you so much. We lost Augustine there. We have another caller here. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoint.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. That's Viewpoint.
Yeah, this is Viewpoint.
Okay, my name is Mr. Ralph. Calling from Hukoko.
Thank you so much. What did you say the name was?
Mr. Ralph.
Mr. Ralph, thank you.
Ralph.
Yeah, go ahead, Ralph.
From Hukoko.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the point the Mr. President should make is in order. But what he should do is this: since he is close to the president and as well as the governor, before now, I think he should use his position and canvass for this matter to be resolved amicably, because it's really affecting everybody in the state, by extension the country in general. So he should try, he should him and other like minds like him should try and broker peace. Let there be peace in River State. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And that was straight to the point. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoints.
I'm Aku Promise.
Robinson, thank you.
No problem, Aku Promise.
Okay, Aku Promise. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Now, my question for Tonye Princewill. Now, what is he going to do for us to mediate between the president and the governor to ensure that that existing relationship, like he said before, that once existed will come back?
Well, the same question. Maybe we'll just take one more. Well, thank you so much, Robinson. We quite appreciate that, and we'll just take one more question. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
My question is that, hello.
Yeah, we're with you.
I wanted to ask that is it going to contest the election? Because we
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We quite appreciate that. Would he contest 2015 election? That's the question. Hello, good morning.
Hello, is that Viewpoint?
Yeah, this is Viewpoints.
Okay, this is the West.
This is who? Dear Priya West.
West.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us.
I think the Tonye Princewill is in the right direction. What affects Governor Shubike Amaechi is that the result of not taking advice.
You feel so?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. We quite appreciate that. So what do you want to go on? Okay, we have another caller here. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoints.
Yeah, I'm Raphael. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Raphael.
Yes, Mr. Tonye Princewill is on point. He's on point here because maybe he might be mediating on this matter before now, but the governor is always a lifestyle being stubborn and the rest of it. So there's nothing he can do for now. But the stand has been taken. The governor has taken his stand. So the only thing I will have to do to them is just to pray. Let the situation not degenerate to another different thing altogether. So we just have to pray. My questions for him is, we would like him to contest for 2015. So I wanted to find out if he has the interest.
Very well.
So we'll give him the support, yes.
Well, I think we'll just take all the way. We'll try to answer some of this question. The first two is hinge on what are people like you doing to engage.
I had the questions. Well, thank you very much for the questions asked. I think they're very intelligent questions. What am I doing? I remember I went to see the president in December 2013. Sorry, 2012. And we talked for over an hour at length
About River State?
About River State and national issues. And in fact, it was a second meeting, because after the first meeting, he said, look, Tonye, let us come when I'm going to bury my brother. That was when he was going to bury his brother. He said, I'm going to bury my brother. I'll be back over the weekend. Come, because the weekend is quiet. Come and sit down and let us talk, heart to heart, and let me explain my position. Of course, I knew Amaechi's position very well. I understood the dynamics of his issues very well. And he said, look, go. And when you go and come back, listen. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to Ghana. And the reason I was going to Ghana was for a retreat. And what is the retreat? It's on River State. And the governor was going to be there. And I said, okay. I said, I'm going for a retreat. I presume the governor will be at your brother's burial. Whatever happens, I will get back to you and we'll talk. And I sat down with the president, and he poured his heart out when I went back for the second meeting. And he told me, he said, Tonye, look at me. He said, I had no hand in how Amaechi became governor. But the way Amaechi took me when he became governor, it was fantastic. He treated me well. So many people, some people know, but others may not know the relationship between Amaechi and the president. It was very close. And he said to me, he said he has no reason to offend Rivers people. Because if he offends Rivers people, when he finishes as president, there is no how that he will not have a base in Port Harcourt. There is no how he will not have a base in River State. And he said, please, sit down with Amaechi. Tell him what I've told you. Discuss with him. Let us see how we can move ourselves forward. So, for me, one of them, I think it was the APA, saying that we should pray.
Did you meet Governor Amaechi after that meeting?
Of course I did. I met Governor Amaechi.
And what was his reaction?
Well, maybe one day I may write a book. Maybe one day I will say details of what was discussed. But these were discussions between people, confidential discussions between people. So when people ask me, what have I been doing? I have been trying to broker peace, flying between Abuja, Port Harcourt, going to various places, locations for meetings. I was also, I must say, doing the same thing between Atiku and Jonathan. So I've been spending a lot of time in between my business trying to make sure that I can bring peace between these three people. But I can assure you that as much as I have not succeeded in doing it, many much more powerful, bigger men have also tried. And I just think that what is going on now is God's will.
Let me just put in this. Some people believe that, well, the reason why this has lingered was because the president has refused to talk.
No, that's not true at all. Absolutely not true. That's why one of the reasons I say I'm not fighting the president is because I know enough about the attempts that have been made to know that it's not the president's fault. In fact, to be honest with you, if we're looking at peace between president and the governor, if I was the governor, I would have made peace.
So you're trying to say that it takes Amaechi to get a peace done?
It takes two to tango. Make no mistake about that. It takes two to tango. But if I was the other party, I would have made peace. What I'm saying in effect is that if Amaechi truly, genuinely was prepared for peace, there would have been peace. And I make that statement in the knowledge of not only the efforts that I made, but the efforts that other people made. And I tell you one thing, I mean, to be fair to the governor, maybe his issue was not peace between himself and the president. Maybe his issue was peace between himself and others. Maybe others were more of an issue to him than the president. I can't speak for the governor. The governor alone can speak for himself. But even if the governor and the president were at peace, that would not have solved the problem. What about the governor and the first lady? What about the governor and Wiki? How does that affect the president? So I think that if you separate peace, I mean, I was central to peace in Buguma during the 2003 crisis. I think you can remember the role we played. If you're trying to make peace, you have to understand the war. And when you understand the war, it makes it easier to make peace. When people talk about peace between the president and the governor, what about Wiki? Honorable Minister, what about peace between him and the governor? What about First Lady? What about peace between the First Lady and the governor? What about the former governor, Peter Odili, and the numerous Abuja politicians who have now returned back to base? What about peace between Amaechi and them? So if you're trying to make peace, it is not just about peace with the president, it's peace with these other people. And it is possible that the governor was not prepared to make peace with others as well. And so what we see now is a accumulation of quarrels, which unfortunately the Rivers people are suffering. Everybody that has died by this crisis is a death of a human being that could have been avoided. And even if it is one person's life that we're avoiding, let us try and put ego to one side and focus on how we can move Rivers people forward.
But really, I would have loved us to continue to talking about, you see, time just wouldn't permit us. But let's go to something else. Are you interested in running for the governor of Rivers State in 2015?
Yes, I am. I'm interested. I haven't made a declaration yet, because there are a couple of things that need to happen before you declare.
All right, we'll just go on a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, we will continue. All right, it's Silverbirds Rhythm 93.7 Port Harcourt, and we're still talking to Tonye Princewill, looking at a whole lot of issues, Rivers politics about Nigeria, and several other issues. We apologize for that short break in transmission. Now, Tonye Princewill, the question was, are you interested in contesting the governorship election in 2015?
Yes, I am. I mean, I'm definitely interested. But the interest is not the same thing as saying I will contest. I think that before you make a move like that, you need to consult widely. And I've been spending a lot of time trying to make peace between the president and the governor. I've been spending a lot of time trying to make peace between the president and Atiku. And so I've been very distracted from issues outside of the state. So I want to spend a bit of time now I'm back to focus on the state, to ask people to consult, to seek opinion, speak to our elder statesmen, speak to our grassroots, speak to our students, speak to our youth, speak to our rural women. I want to move around and ask, and if there is enough support, then there is a possibility. But people can tell you that they will support you, and people can tell you that they want you to contest, but when it comes to time to put their hand in their pocket, people are not prepared to do it, or to put their time towards your campaign, people are not prepared to do it. So I want to see how genuine the support is, and if the support is there.
Do you think you have the structure that could win election for you in Rivers State, should you decide to contest?
Did Jonathan have a structure? I don't understand why people keep talking about this structure. It's just a word. Politicians use it to confuse you. The structure is people's hearts and minds. If people have hearts and minds for you, you win an election. Jonathan did not have a structure in the Southwest. Somebody else's structure, if you want to use the word, voted for him. But at the end of the day, it was God's doing. I have a structure, yes. I have people that have been working with me since 2006, yes. I have people who have left me.
even know River State. Tonye Princewill is most time outside River State. He does not even stay in Port Harcourt. Today is in London, tomorrow America, and he wants to rule River State.
No, I don't want to rule. I want to lead.
Okay, you want to govern River State.
Yeah, I want to lead. I don't want to rule. You know, when people say that, I of course laugh, because you know, when it matters, you know, we will know what Tonye Princewill has been doing. We will know where Tonye Princewill has. I feel sorry for my wife, because my wife is constantly, she believes that, you know, I'm always in River State, because obviously I'm not in London. But the people in River State believe I'm in London. You know, I've not really focused on making money in River State, and I have to make money because I've never held a political office before. And having never held a political office before, the only way I know how to make money is from my hard work and my effort. So sitting down in Port Harcourt and looking at people's faces is not going to feed my family, either political or biological. I have to move. My businesses are predominantly in Lagos and outside of this country, and I have to keep them going. So as much as I would love to sit down in River State, I have not been able to. But I have to say something which is quite important. If we're talking about my time, 90% of my time is spent in Nigeria. That means out of every 10 days, I spend 9 in Nigeria. Recently, because of the explanations I gave, I spend, maybe out of those 9 days, I spend 3 or 4 in Abuja, 1 in Lagos, and the rest in Port Harcourt. But of course, that is set to change. Now we've taken care of the politics. Now we've taken, at least at Abuja level, now we've taken care of the business. Now I'm going to be focused on River State. So I'm back. I'm here to consult and spend time with Rivers people. And we have to ask ourselves one very important question. When we are talking about sitting down and talking to Rivers people, what solutions do we have? I hear people talk about, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. Being governor of River State or taking leadership position in this country is a hard job. It's a hard task. It's not for enjoyment. It's not because I want to enter a plane and fly around the place. It's not because I want to answer the name governor. It's because people have problems and you want to solve it. Not only that you want to solve it, the passion is there, you can have all the will, but if you don't have the knowledge, it's a problem. And some of these travels have been about talking to people, potential investors in River State of tomorrow, talking to them, telling them that this is a state that they need to come and invest in. Can you imagine, as you're talking to these investors, they open up the pages of newspapers and they hear that a senator has been shot, or they hear that there's a big rally, people asking the governor to resign, or they hear that there's a big rally, people asking the commissioner of police to disappear. It's not a good sign. It's not a good signal. So for me, we can't be talking about personal ambition in this kind of environment. You may have noticed that there are no billboards up anymore. I used to have billboards all over the place. This is not the time to start talking about campaign. This is not the time to talk about governing River State post Amaechi. What we need now is, between now and when Amaechi leaves, how can we improve the situation? How can we bring peace? Somebody said it's over, that we should forget, we should all be praying. I don't think it's over. I think that we can still get Governor Amaechi to pull back from his position and support the president. I mean, he said it the other day, if the president gives back Soko oil wells, he will support the president. I mean, that is saying that supporting the president is not an impossibility. So I just want to tell, especially Rivers youths, don't get involved in this fight. Remove yourselves from this fight. This fight is between two people that ultimately will settle. Let us look at the people who are settling now. Tinubu and Buhari. Buhari described Tinubu as a thief. The Bible said that Tinubu has no business walking the streets of Lagos when he was looking for him as the AFCC chairman. Now look at them, they are working together. Now for me that came into politics new, I have seen their 419. And I'm trying to tell Rivers people, and I'm trying to tell Nigerians, don't get involved in, when these politicians are fighting, tomorrow they will settle. When it's time to share the money, when it's time to share our commonwealth, they find it's amazing how they can agree. But when one person is holding the wealth and saying no, everybody wants to fight that person. Amaechi said it, I think, on radio, that the reason the people are fighting him is because he refused to share the wealth.
Yeah, I thought that was the reason you fell out with him.
No.
Because he didn't share the wealth with you.
I keep telling people I'm a digital politician. I'm not the analog politician. I didn't come into politics to make a name. I made my name outside of politics. I made my living outside of politics. I contested governor when nobody knew me. That means I have a way of survival before politics. So I didn't come to politics to survive. I keep saying to people, how can you expect somebody who was unemployed before he entered politics to come into politics and solve unemployment. You cannot give what you do not have.
So you're trying to say most of our politicians were
I'm
never
saying it.
employed?
I'm not trying to say. Don't you know that? Let's not pretend. You've not had a job. The first job you had was carrying somebody's bag, and then ultimately you now get into politics. Then you expect that person will be able to crack the issues. You need help.
Now, would you really say?
I was laughing. I said, this man doesn't know he's giving me praise. He actually thinks he's abusing me. That means I have a life outside of politics. And that's what people should do. You should have a career before you enter politics. Now somebody will say, look at Shegu, the famous radio man. He is now running for office. He's bringing his experiences from outside of politics to come and affect politics. Because we keep saying it, that politics is too important to be left to politicians. Even me, that I'm a politician, politics is too important to be left to me. The people need to challenge us. They need to ask us questions. People say, Tonye, go run for governor. You have our support. Some people came to visit me yesterday and they said, they said the same thing. I said, so, why? You like my face? You want me to run for governor because you like my face? Aren't you going to ask me what am I going to do? Aren't you going to ask me what difference I'm going to make? Aren't you going to try to interrogate me before you give me your support? No. I like your face, so please go and run for governor. We need to ask questions. We're not asking questions. We're not thinking. That's why those billboards were there. The billboards were there to get people to think. Not because I wanted to contest for governor. The billboards have been there for almost 4 or 5 years now. The point is people in Rivers State need to start to think differently. They're not thinking right. And if you keep thinking that somebody is here, money, the person will give you the money you need and enter office and close the door. And then tomorrow you say they have used you. Why? Now, you as a person now, there's no way you will contest election. Number one, you are afraid of politics. Number two, you say politics is dirty. Number three, you don't have the money. Why is it that somebody who doesn't have a lot of money cannot contest for politics and win? Because he is popular, because his people love him. It is because money is in politics. Unless you have money, you can't do politics. And that is wrong. We need to do something about it.
Tonye Princewill, and it is Viewpoints from Silverbirds with a 93.7 Port Harcourt. Now, would you agree, or do you agree with Tonye Princewill that many of the politicians today are nobody outside politics? They never had any experience coming to politics, and all they know is politics, making money from politics. And would you really say truly people have not been asking questions? Well, quickly now we'll take more calls, and of course the numbers are still the same. Quickly call us up 081-1399937. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoint.
Yes, my name is Lucky.
Lucky, thank you.
Yeah, from Ovipo.
Lucky.
My brother, Tonye Princewill, you are talking very well, like an enlightened man. We appreciate your contribution this morning. If your effort towards resolving the problem, you should not be tired. Don't be weary about it, please. Continue in your effort, because if you stop, the one you've done will be a waste. We need peace in this state. Please, keep making it known to those who does not have business, who think politics is just where they must come and grab it and go, to allow the governor face the leadership of this state. It is not, I don't expect him, and he has said it, to be sharing money to people. That is just that is the main cause of this problem. Please. And then the presidency, the wife, and all other politicians who are around the president. But the president should act as a father. He should act as a father. If he has truly resolved or truly opened with Amaechi, then he cannot sit as a father. Call that Amaechi and call other politicians who are beside him, even his wife. So please, we need to work together. How has Amaechi offended you? Please forgive. Because he himself has to have a clear heart to forgive Amaechi. If he has a clear heart to forgive Amaechi, he now sit and stand as a father, bring other people by the side.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Now you've made your point straight. And quickly to all the callers, we wouldn't want you to spend more than 60 seconds. Several other people are trying to get across to us, so 60 seconds only. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoints.
Yeah, my name is Raphael.
Raphael, thank you.
Please, what I want to say is that I've read all what Tonye Princewill said, but the problem there is that how far has the president gone to relate with Governor Amaechi by reconciling with him?
Okay, you want the president to reconcile with Governor Amaechi?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Raphael. Quite appreciate. We'll take a call here now. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, hello, good morning. Good morning. Could you turn on the volume on your radio set, please? If you must call us, move away from your radio set to avoid the hole back there. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Shebu.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoint.
Yeah, I want to speak with my brother, Tonye Harry.
He's listening to you. Tonye Princewill.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Toba.
This is the Kimbo, John West.
Okay, Bekimbo.
Kimbo.
Okay.
And then don't be annoying. Do you think it's okay for people to be disrespecting the governor on the basis that he's also disrespecting the president? That's number one. Do you think that the governor does not have the right to be different from the views of the president?
Oh, we lost him there. But we're sorry, but we will want you to come back. Let's just take one more call so that you will just answer all of them in one full stream. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, this is Chevron. This is Viewpoints.
Yeah, so I want to commend you on your program, what you're doing.
Now, sir, could you just move away from your radio set to avoid the whole
Yeah, I think
back?
I've done that. This is you are calling for root marks.
Good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, this state belongs to all of us. So I want to appeal to Rivers people, also our dear brother, Tonye Princewill, to try more, to bring peace to Rivers State, because this is as you can see what is happening today. This is affecting everybody, including the students. So I must appeal to the politicians to shift their thoughts. Our big brother, Tonye Princewill, he should try and help so that peace will return to Rivers State.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just one more call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Shebu.
Thank you so much. This is Viewpoint.
Okay, I'm Acho calling from Jerry.
Acho, thank you.
Yeah, have a quick.
Oh, Acho, we lost Acho from Jerry, but we have another call. Hello, good morning. Now, could you move away from your radio set? Thank you so much. Move away from your radio set.
Yes. My name is Barrister Naziga.
Barrister Naziga, am I right?
Yes.
Now, Barrister Naziga, please move away from your radio set.
Okay.
Very well.
I want to ask this question. I quite appreciate the intelligence of the guest that have said this morning. But I want to ask, is one of those politicians that Rivers people believe have been jumping from one party to the other without actually telling Rivers people what they have seen differently in the old party or what they have seen differently in the new party that is making them jump from one platform to the other? So then we want to ask that question and we demand answers.
Thank you so much, Barrister Naziga. And the last question here, so many of them are just coming in. A lot of calls are just coming in. Hello, good morning. Hello. Oh, hello, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Viewpoints.
Yeah, Mr. Shebu. My name is Tom Clave.
Okay, good morning, Tom Clave.
Yeah, let me first of all appreciate Tonye Princewill for what he's doing. He's doing a fantastic job. Now, Rivers State belongs to all of us. Now, we really want to know what is the problem between the governor and the presidency. We really want to know the cause, because the Rivers people, they're not aware of what is happening. So if Tonye can maybe tell us what is the problem between the governor and the Rivers State.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Tom Clay, thank you so much. I will just allow Tonye to answer some of this question. Maybe we'll take it from the bottom. What do you think is the problem between Governor Amaechi and the president?
Well, Don Clay, that's a very good question, but it's like I was saying, it's for you to solve the problem, you have to understand the war, or for you to make the peace, you have to understand the war. The problem is not just between Amaechi and the president. The problem is between Amaechi, the president, Amaechi, the president's wife, Amaechi, Honorable Wike, Amaechi, Abuja politicians, and Amaechi and several Rivers people.
There's so much to Amaechi is involved in so much problem here.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He's the governor of Rivers State. Rivers State is a very key state in the Federation of the Republic of Nigeria. He's the chairman of the Governors Forum. So there's no doubt that he's a central figure. And of course, he's is a figure in the politics of Nigeria. You can't take that away from him. I may disagree with him on some fundamental issues, but I'm not going to take away from him the fact that he's central to all of this. And that's why I said that if I was him, there would be peace. Because he needs to make peace between all these various factions. But is he prepared to make peace? I think that the answer to that question is no, he's not. And it's not about the president. The man is quiet. The president is quiet. So Don Cliff is asking, what is the problem between Amaechi and the presidency? I think the question is good, because he didn't say what is the problem between Amaechi and the president. He said, what is the problem between Amaechi and the presidency?
Yeah.
And it's a very good question is asked. So it's a little complicated. And if you're trying to make peace, I've learned a little bit about making peace from the Buguma crisis, where people were killing each other. And I know that if you're trying to understand peace, you have to understand the war. Barrister asked that I've been jumping from one party to another, and what is the difference? What have I seen in it? I think it's a very good question. When I did it, people shouted, they said, you don't have no principles. Now, everybody is doing it. People are jumping left, right, and center. In fact, you actually have to take a snapshot in time to know where everybody is, because if you close your eye and open it again, people have moved around the place. It's like a constant revolving wheel. And the reason why people are moving from one party to another is that the parties don't stand for anything.
So why did you move?
Listen carefully, because this is a very important conversation. We keep having it, and people are not listening. People move from party to party because the parties don't stand for anything. It's like moving between football teams. You have Asriko. Today he's playing for Arsenal. Tomorrow he's playing for Chelsea. Next tomorrow he could play for Tottenham. Football teams have only one objective. They want to win the title. So people move because they want to win titles. That's why they move. Because the place you are, they will not allow you to win the title. You've waited, you've tried to win something, you can't win anything. So Ashley Cole leaves Arsenal and goes to Chelsea, and he wins. Van Persie leaves Arsenal. He goes to Manchester United, he wins. People move because the parties don't stand for anything. But once the parties identify their position, we are for free education, we are for free health, we are for full employment, we are for the people, we are for the masses, we are for free public transport. If the parties define themselves, then if you are not for free public transport, if you are not for free education, if you are not for all these things, you will not be there.
But isn't that what APC has done? They say they're progressives.
No. You don't say you're progressive. You show you're a progressive. You demonstrate you're a progressive. It's not about talking. Remember I said here, action speaks louder than words. If you're not happy with the PDP policy, you refer us to what your own policy position is. Can you imagine that we're talking today? What is one of our biggest problems today? I'll tell you what our biggest problem is today. Forget technical. Our technical biggest problem is people do not have access to capital, so they cannot set up businesses by themselves with good enough, cheap enough money so that they can trade and do business. Many people want to do business, but government is not helping them. But our biggest problem, aside from technical, real problem is unemployment. Now, what is PDP's position on unemployment? They don't have. What is APC's position on unemployment? They don't have. What is their strategy for tackling unemployment? They don't have. Neither of them have. So if political parties do not define themselves, what's the difference between APC and PDP? So why should I leave PDP now and move to APC? For what?
But you left AC for PDP.
Good, because I knew as a budding politician, and it's very important for you to understand this, as a budding politician I entered into AC after PDP. I entered into AC because I wanted to contest for government. I was tired of the way Rivers State was being run.
So which means you want to win as well?
Absolutely. And I believe we won. Because the election was rigged, so the votes that we heard about were not actual. But most importantly, we continue to confront that system. And that system ultimately collapsed. Now, this is the point that I want to capture. If you define the party, then if you don't believe in those ideals, you have no business belonging to that party. And if you have been espousing those ideals all through your political career, you don't just get up and say, I now believe in something else and I'm now moving to another party. Now, in 2010, I decided I was not going to contest the 2011 election. So I asked myself, if I'm not going to contest the 2011 election, and I'm working with Amaechi, and I believe in his policies, and the AC people are saying, go and bring money from Amaechi. If you don't bring money from Amaechi, we'll give the party to Sekibo. I looked at the opportunity and I said, fantastic, I am leaving. There is no point sitting on a seat that you're not going to use. Let somebody else come and take this AC, this thing, and let them fight Amaechi. And we all know what happened. Somebody else took the AC ticket, and they fought Amaechi, and the results we have today is that person is now in PDP. So the stories and the history are there. But now, as it stands, I'm sticking with PDP through thick and thin. But you see me criticizing PDP here. That's the problem people have. They cannot tell themselves the truth. And when you tell yourself the truth, people will say, that means he doesn't like PDP. No, I like PDP. My support is with Felix Obua. But that does not mean that if I sit down with my chairman, I will not tell him, Chairman, do it like this. What about this? Let's define ourselves. Let the people know what we stand for, so that people can come. And if we have an issue in River State now, for instance, a governor comes in, he goes through a set of policies. The next governor knows what that party stands for. He continues that set of policy. That's continuity. Not that you have Odili of PDP. He goes, Omeha, PDP. All of them different policies, different ideals, different priorities, completely different agenda. I'll just close by saying, can you imagine Goodluck Jonathan and Yar'Adua, same ticket, same party, two completely different governments? So the solution to the policy problem is coming from the candidate. It's not coming from the party. The party is not thinking. If the party is not thinking, how can the people think?
Well, our time is fast spent and we have less than 10 minutes to go here. But
let me just, there was one more question. Bekimbo, my brother who spoke to me in Calabar, he said, look, if people disrespect, should they disrespect the governor because the governor disrespects the president?
Shouldn't the governor have his own opinion about issues?
That was the second question. The first question was, should people disrespect the governor because he's disrespecting the president? No. Two wrongs don't make a right. So the answer to his question is no. If you want to disagree with Amaechi, try and disagree with him agreeably. That's what I do. Also, he said, is it possible for the governor to have a different view from the president? Absolutely, you can. All I'm saying is that as brothers, we should be able to settle some problems inside the house. It's not everything that we should settle on the pages of newspaper. And if we want to say that Amaechi has tried to do that and it has failed, I say keep trying. Somebody said to me, I think it was Lucky from Obigbo. He said, stay on course, don't give up. No matter how weary it gets, keep on. And if you do, it will not make your previous efforts go to waste. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you've tried to reach the president and he has not opened the door, keep trying. Keep trying. Look at Oduaha today from Delta State. Oduaha was finished as far as everybody was concerned. But look at Oduaha, he's now working with the president. He was returned and he has now successfully been able to deliver so many other things to the president. Looking at Ibori's matter, would you have predicted that Oduaha will now be close to the president? The answer is no. So even in spite of previous efforts, you can still make peace with the president.
Well, thank you so much. Quickly, loads of text messages are coming in. I'm going to take some of them and from the Facebook page. This one is from Nali. Nali said, good morning. Just a question for Tonye Princewill. What would be his cardinal dream for our dear River State? And another one said, good morning, Shegun. I'm Tari Ariye from Marine Base. The Bible said, I, the Lord, will harden the heart of Pharaoh. So when destruction is near, his heart and ears of a sad fellow will be hardened and blocked. My advice to the governor is he should seek the gospel deliverance. Well, another one here said, I used to think Tonye Princewill is a political jobber, but now I know different. Admire his politics and candor. Which party is your guest from? What relevance is the Governors Forum of Nigeria? And your guest, there is inconsistent with his perception about issues between Amaechi and Jonathan. At one point he said Amaechi is not fighting Jonathan, but Nigeria's bad system. Now he's saying Amaechi is fighting Jonathan. Which one shall we believe? Well, let's take it from the bottom, and the question is, Tonye Princewill, what would be your cardinal dream for our dear River State?
Well, listen, River State for me is the potential Dubai. If you look at the map of the world, and I travel the world a lot, the center of the world is actually Nigeria. And the port that makes the best sense in terms of development, in terms of ability to expand land mass, is River State. So River State is, in my opinion, the center of the world. You know, when the white man was looking for where to come and colonize, they didn't go to Dubai. They didn't go there. They came here because they've looked around the whole place. This is where it can happen. And they came. That's why we call this place Port Harcourt. That means Harcourt came here and set up a port. This is the potential in River State. When I look at it, I just shake my head. If I was governor, I would actually work towards full employment.
How?
If I start talking about all my ideas, people will come and steal them. I won't say it. But I can actually employ. I don't want to use any figures because I'm not contesting just yet. But when I do contest, I will. The point is that we can transform River State overnight.
Isn't that what Governor Amaechi tried to do?
Yeah, he did. He
But
tried.
the politics and the positions
You
did
have to
not.
play the politics. You have to play the politics. Look at me now, sitting down with the president. I fought him. He looked at me in the eye. He said, Tonye, I know how you fought me in 2011. I'm sure Amaechi was behind you. Amaechi must have supported you. I said, no. I said, I didn't think you would deliver. So I didn't support you. And he advised me to support you. And I said, no. My father advised me to support you. I said, no. I told both of them, I said, it's not personal. I just don't think that you can deliver. I looked him in the eye. Now we're talking and he's working with me. So the truth of the matter is that Rivers State has so much potential. So I picture a state where people are walking the streets, white, black, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, all tribes working together for the good of the state. You see, the problem is that once there is deficiency, everybody wants to pull the other down. But once there is abundance, everybody is happy and enjoying themselves. This is the Garden City. This is the place people used to come and relax. And I want to bring that back. I know we can, but we can't do it in this kind of political climate. And we have to ask people the question. It's like Solomon and the baby. If you want to divide the state, then it means you don't love the state. If you want to bring the state together, it means that you do love the state. And we need to find those people that will love the state, that want to bring it together. They need to come out. They need to work together, place forward. And I think they can do that. As for the question, somebody was saying, I said Amaechi was fighting, not fighting the president.
There's inconsistency in some of the things he said. He said initially, the issue between Amaechi and government. One point he said Amaechi is not fighting Jonathan, but Nigeria's bar system. Now you're saying Amaechi is fighting Jonathan. Which one?
Well, I've still said it here. I think I explained that this is not about Jonathan, the president. This is about Rivers State. This is about the way the Nigerian system is run. All I'm saying is that I told me and Amaechi had a discussion. I said to him, I said, G7. I hope you know that those governors, their agenda is different from your own.
Tell us more about that.
Well, let's think about it. There are people who are clamoring for a northern president.
Yeah.
A president from northern extraction. What does that mean? I did not support Atiku because I was looking for a northern president. I supported Atiku because of the substance of the man. That's why I supported him. I didn't know enough about Jonathan. But now, I'm not saying that Atiku cannot contest for presidency. Of course he can. But there's no vacancy.
I want us to clarify. You said you told Amaechi that G7, which is the group of 7 governors, many of them have defected now to the PDP. Absolutely. And you said working with them is like a lost cause. Is that what you mean?
Well, you're putting words into my mouth. It's not necessary. Because I'm here, I can speak.
Very well.
Those guys have a different agenda. I told him. They have a different agenda. And he acknowledged it. The agenda is different. Amaechi is not supposed to be arguing for a northern president, even though it appears that he is now, but he's not supposed to be arguing for a northern president. He's supposed to be arguing for Nigeria moving forward. And therefore, if you are fighting the president, then you must be fighting the president because you want Nigeria to move forward. Now, if you're surrounded by people whose agenda is not Nigeria move forward, but Nigeria move forward under the north, then you're not on the same page. And I want us to reflect on that. Because if we're I had a dream. I had a dream. What was the dream? I met Jonathan after 2015. And he was not president. And Nigerians were crying. Especially Niger Deltas were crying. And he came to this thing, was smiling, he was relaxed. He came, sat down. People were treating him like former president. He was very relaxed. At peace with himself. And he looked at me and said, you people have kicked me out now. Can you see? And I woke up from
in your dream.
Yes, I woke up.
So what did the dream say about Amaechi?
It's not about Amaechi. You keep on trying to bring. Did they send you? What did I mention Amaechi here?
I was thinking you would have had a dream also about what Amaechi looks like in 2015.
No, I'm sorry. That is not. Maybe you have a dream about Amaechi. I didn't have a dream about Amaechi. What it told me really is, why are we fighting this man? Do you have a reason? Listen, if Obama was here and he wanted to contest for president, I will personally go and carry Jonathan and kidnap him so that he won't contest, so that Obama will come and lead us to the promised land. But there is no Obama. This is not America. Our Obama is Jonathan. If you look at the political terrain right now as we speak, what that man has achieved, maybe people don't understand. Maybe people are not seeing what I'm saying. If you've analyzed it very well, you see that what that man silently has achieved is unbelievable. Look at the governors forum. All of us were shouting, oh, 19 is more than 16. These people cannot add. Including me. Governors forum is dead. Who is bothered now about who is chairman of Governors Forum? It was in the news yesterday. It's not in the news today. It's not an issue. Okay, Amaechi is chairman. Call governors meeting now. No control.
They held a meeting last week. They held a meeting last week. They held a meeting last week.
No control of the party. Do you know that from 1999 to date, Nigeria has been controlled by the PDP, and Nigeria has been controlled by the PDP governors. They have decided who is chairman. Watch the terrain. One chairman gets kicked out, next chairman gets kicked out, all loyal to the governor. For the first time now, we have a chairman that could not be kicked out until the president felt that, okay, he can go. Governors could not do anything. This small, weak president has withstood, not Mickey Mouse governors of before, hard governors, people like Amaechi who will stand there right and try and throw power around. They cannot go past Jonathan.
Tonye Princewill, I think there should be a part 2 of this program because
it's
time
people.
is
I don't know why you people,
not on
I'm
our
still
side.
here. I don't have anything. I'm not going anywhere.
But Tonye Princewill, we just have gone way beyond our time.
Okay, let's talk about railways. The man goes from Lagos to Kano by rail. It's never happened before. Look at
Jonathan.
Yes, look at power slowly picking itself up. The necessary rules and laws have been put in place to allow private sector invest in power. People are complaining. Look at East West Road. They said before the end of 2014 it should be. If it's not ready, people will vote with their feet. You will say East West Road ready. Niger Delta, the center of the wealth of this nation. Nothing. Look at the airports. I travel. When you land at the airport, no change, no development, nothing. Then let me tell you something else that is interesting. I keep on saying that people don't understand. Nigeria is said to be the largest economy in Africa. It's the #1 destination for foreign direct investment. This is all grammar because people want to see job in their pocket. That's why I'm saying all these fights, stop it. And the man that you are fighting, think about it. Jonathan, have you heard anything from him? The man is going about his business. He's working. It would have been better if commissioners and all those other people were doing the fight for Amaechi. And Amaechi was focused on just moving River State forward. Forget the newspaper. You people are the problem, media.
Tonye Princewill, thank you so much. That's the much we can tell Viewpoint today, but we promise you we would bring back Tonye Princewill because there are a lot of issues we've not touched. There's many of them to talk about.
When I finish my consultation, I'll still come back here now.
Definitely. We must thank Tonye Princewill for finding time to come to the studio this morning.
The scholarship scheme, just to let people know, anybody who is part of my scholarship scheme, verification is taking place next week. You should get involved. And also, there is also something I think we should know. There are some people who seem to be looking at this kind of politics, the center type of politics, not left, not right, not this, the center type of politics, called the conclave. And people should listen out for the conclave. It looks like progressive Rivers people are beginning to come together to see how they can move River State forward.
Well, thanks, Tonye Princewill. And our subsequent news bulletin, you'll be hearing more about Tonye Princewill. We'll talk on some of this issue. Once again, thank you so much, Tonye Princewill. And also, thank you, everyone who have listened to Viewpoint this morning. Don't forget to be back next Saturday with another interesting topic. And some other day, we'll bring in Tonye Princewill and we'll let you know when. Good morning.